Well, good Monday morning and welcome to our Monday morning live edition of Healthy Living South Mississippi's. It's the Doctor's Nutrition Show. I'm Jim Tabor, your host, along with Drs. Jim and Janine Fox of Doctor's Nutrition, located on Callan Road in Gulfport, just south of Pass Road. This is the show that we invite you to call in and ask questions regarding your health, centered around the topic of the day. Of course, if it's something else regarding your health, that's fine too. 896-0713, 800-349-0713. You can, the producer will put you through to us and ask personally, or just pass the question along to them. So temperatures changing. Yes. Every day.
Every day.
Up and down and up and down.
Yeah, around here it's up and down. A lot of places it's just down, but of course here we are getting that up and down.
Chilly morning this morning, so I had to go with the jacket and everything. So it's kind of one of the things we wanted to talk about, things you have to deal with in your health this time of the year.
Well, people don't realize, but this time of year, a lot of things change. Like say the temperature's changing, the way we dress is changing, how we live is changing. And sometimes that adds up to some issues that we shouldn't have.
There's a lot of chronic health conditions that tend to worsen during the winter.
Yes.
And even though we don't have a huge winter, we still have a little bit of a change.
Yeah.
And we still see those problems get worse even around here without the extreme cold.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to talk about things that get worse and what you can do about it during the winter so that it can help.
Yeah.
Natural things that you can do to maybe help each condition.
Mm-hmm. Of course, a lot of it has to do with your diet.
Well, yeah. Now,
yeah.
Diet is, like I said, but with it being winter and the biggest factor here being the change of weather, mostly we're going to talk about different supplements you can do for different conditions.
Mm-hmm.
Now, an obvious one is vitamin D deficiency.
I knew you were going to say that. I knew I've done this 3 years with y'all. I knew exactly where they was going.
That is actually almost everybody. That is not just because,
well, you don't spend as much time out in the sun this time of the year. To where the sun can actually get into you, except unless you have a solar panel built in, like I do, that you can get some sun out there.
But we see extremely low levels because we do a lot of vitamin D testing. Every one of our panels have vitamin D on it, and there's no doubt we see a significant difference in levels, whether it be this time of the year or if it's at the end of the summer. Mm-hmm. So we always tell people, even if like during the summer you're barely in range, well, you're probably, when it hits winter, you're going to need a little bit of vitamin D, because the D definitely goes down in everybody, I would say, across the board.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And including children. Everybody, no one thinks about the kids needing vitamin D.
I was going to say, that's probably
and that is another
one. And I know there's somebody out there probably asking, okay, what does vitamin D do for you? If you don't get enough of it, what can happen to you?
I think the better answer would be, what does it not do for you?
Right. D has so many benefits. But one of the big things, of course, in the winter is you're prone to get sick more often if your D is lower. Mm-hmm. So
your immune system goes down.
Exactly.
And it helps modulate that immune system. It really does. It's actually a steroid hormone.
D is also good for bone density. It's also good, without it, you ache all over. It does make a difference in muscle pain. It makes a difference in fatigue. There's a lot of things that makes a difference. But one of the big things is they've even shown that one reason people get sicker in the winter, yes, they're in closer quarters and they don't go out as much, but another reason is the vitamin D drops. Mm-hmm. And so, your D drops and it makes you more prone to getting sick. And when we do blood tests, whether it be on a kid or whether it be an adult, we see a huge amount of vitamin D deficiency anyway, even during the summer. So during the winter, it gets very deficient.
Well, here along the Gulf Coast, during the summertime, a lot of people don't like to get out and get in the sun because they might be susceptible to skin cancers or something like that.
Or they wear SPF 300.
Yeah. And in that case, we tell people, have your levels checked and definitely take vitamin D. And of course, we always talk about D, and we like to do K2 with it. Mm-hmm. K2 actually directs the D on where to go. It helps you make the D help bone density, and at the same time takes plaque out of the arteries. Mm-hmm. So it directs your calcium, really. Right. And it's a calcium director, and they're even finding that children need it as well.
Well, think about it. That's when you're not only, we always talk about the people that are a little older with the osteopenia and osteoporosis. With kids, you're talking about trying to develop bone development.
Right.
And that's when it's extremely important, and we see so much of it.
One of the things that people don't think of, especially, when it comes to kids, it's for adults too, is teeth.
Yeah.
Kids that have very bad teeth and get cavities and get constant things in their teeth and their weak teeth, a lot of times that is a vitamin D and a vitamin K2 deficiency.
Yeah.
And so it is good for both children, and it's one of the reasons we want to talk about it. It's for across the board.
Yeah.
And that even really, you don't have to be really sick to have a vitamin D deficiency, because so many people do.
That's
And
true.
it's not a chronic condition that just a few have, it's one that many
One
have.
of the supplements
Yeah.
y'all have me on is ADK2.
Right.
Well, yeah,
right.
exactly.
And the ADK2 is probably one of our bigger sellers because
Yep.
it does have your A and K2 with it. But we do have a new spray that actually has your D and K2. So for kids, it's very easy just to spray it in their mouth.
Yeah.
So it's an easy way to give it to children.
That's good.
And a lot of the
very good.
vitamin Ds that are chewable and stuff don't have the K2 with it. So that's just kind of one of the things that we were going to mention today, is that we have that, and you can just one spray in a kid's mouth, and they're probably
Once
good
a
to
day.
go. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yep.
it gives you 1,000 units of D
And 100 of
micrograms
K2. So yeah,
Right.
so it's a pretty good dose. Now, an adult, if they're deficient, they may need more than one spray if they do the spray as opposed to the ADK2. But the ADK2 has 5,000 per pill.
Yeah.
But some people
Yeah, 'cause
don't
I
need
take
that
like
much.
one of those
Yeah.
3 or 4 times a week.
Yes, and some people, we did your level and determined that you didn't need it every day.
Right.
Some people do need it every day. And believe it or not, we have a few people we give 2 a day because
Wow.
they're
Yeah.
so deficient in D when we check them. So, everybody's a little bit different. We
Those
always
are people that
recommend
stay in a
having check.
closet or inside all day long and never get out in the sunshine.
Well, and they can have some genetic issues, too.
Right.
There's a vitamin D receptor. There's a gene that actually controls that. And what it does is helps us make vitamin D when you are out in the sun. And if you've got an issue with those, what they call the VDR, the TAC, and so on, all those genes, well, okay, I don't care if you stay in the sun. You're still not going to make the D like you should. So there's even that, so as the genetics unfolds,
Right.
we're finding that even that's a problem.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right. Our phone lines are 896-0713 or 800-349-0713. If you have a question for the doctors regarding health, especially this time of the year, is the way our weather is goes up and down. Like I woke outside yesterday in short sleeves with
Yeah.
and shorts with the dogs, and then this morning it's like I'm out there with a sweatshirt and sweatpants.
Oh
because
yeah, it's going
so-
up and down.
it
And
really will. Yeah.
but like I said, the other condition that we probably hear the most is arthritis. There's no doubt that the stiffness in the
Always gets
joints,
worse.
the
Yeah.
stiffness in the joints is worse when it gets cold. Now, some of the research says that it shouldn't and that it don't, but I think everybody out there can disagree. And everybody that comes to us, and everybody says the same thing, that when it starts getting cold, their joints, even the temperature changes like it's been doing lately.
Right.
The changes, the barometric pressure going up and down and up and down, it actually does make a difference. So on that case, we actually use something called Perna-Max.
Yep.
And Perna-Max is definitely really good for both osteoarthritis and rheumatoid arthritis.
Exactly. Works
Okay.
on both.
Yeah, there's some really good research from Clemson University about the Perna
Good
itself.
school.
And and helping both types of arthritis. And when it comes to the Perna, it also actually stops further degeneration of arthritis. Anyway, that's one that we have many people that take it year round.
Yeah.
But when your arthritis gets worse during the winter, that's something you might want to add because it definitely makes a difference in the pain.
Right.
All right. We've got a caller online. We're going to get to them in just a moment. We're going to first take a break. We'll be right back. And welcome back to our Monday morning live edition of Healthy Living South Mississippi's. It's the Doctor's Nutrition Show. We take your phone calls at 896-0713 or 800-349-0713. Carol from Gulfport's on the phone. Good morning, Carol. What's your question for the doctors?
Good morning.
Good morning.
I take a multivitamin and it has 400 units of D3.
Okay.
And as far as I can tell, it doesn't have any K2.
Right.
So if I take my calcium, which has 1,200 milligrams of calcium and 1,000 units of vitamin D3, can't you get too much D3? Because if I take that,
Well, you
and then I want to take just a plain vitamin D3, there's 2,000 in there, and then there's 400 in my multivitamin. I don't know which one
Carol.
I can take together.
Typically speaking, yes, to answer for your question, yes, you can get too much vitamin D, and it's rare.
And it's not, and that dosage is very rare because actually 2,500 is not a high dose.
No.
Our one-a-day multi, just to let you know about it, is 2,000 D3, and it does have the K2 with it, just in our one-a-day multi. So that's actually just in the multi. We actually have 2,000 in that one. We found that adults, even if they're not real deficient, probably need 2,000 a day minimum. Someone with a deficiency needs up to 5, and like I said, sometimes we even put people on higher, up to 10,000 a day.
Some of the research they've done show that even kids, because of the growth probably, the bone growth and so on, but even kids need about 2,000, they say. That's kind of the research, that's kind of the standard that they're saying now for children. Probably need about 2,000.
Depends on the age of the child too. I mean, like I said, we'll go 1,000 with the younger kids,
right?
Which is like one spray of that. But I wouldn't worry at 24, even at 2,400, of getting too much. But if you are, I tell everybody, if you're worried about it, take it for a while and then check it.
Yeah.
D is one of those. Yeah.
Okay, now like the K2 in this, it's only 100 micrograms. Is that enough? Because
Micrograms.
I have osteoporosis,
okay,
and my bones are very brittle. I've been taking the calcium, the K2, the D3, and it's like nothing helps. It's nothing to build my bones, and I don't want to take a prescription. You know, one of those that attacks your jawbone, or the other one that gives you blood clots.
Yeah.
But this is. But when they checked my D, they showed that I wasn't deficient.
Well, but Carol, that range is big enough we could drive this whole studio through it. It goes from like 30 to 100 nanograms. So I mean, it's huge. And you could be at 31 and it's, oh, you're fine. No, you're really not. If you got something like osteoporosis going on, you need to be up around that 70, 75.
You want to be 50 to 80 for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, you want to actually be on the higher end.
Okay, so how much calcium should I take, and how much D3 should I take, do you think?
Your D3 is going based on your testing.
Right. If you bring us a copy of your test that you did and tell us how much you were taking at the time, we could probably better answer that question.
Right.
And calcium, I don't like overdoing the calcium because they've actually found that too much calcium can actually increase plaque in the arteries if you don't need it. So,
oh my gosh.
Yes, so you don't want to overdo calcium. We're not ones that push huge amounts like some people say, 1,000 to 1,500. I think it's a little much for most people.
Yeah. Most of the research is showing now that somewhere around 600, maybe in that range, in
a supplemental, right, because you're going to get some from your food.
Right. Whether you eat, dairy or not. I mean, you get some in your green leafy vegetables, things like that. So, your food gives you some, and then an extra, it's more about can you actually build bone, not just do you have enough calcium. Because typically when you look at the bone, calcium is actually a very small part of that bone. There's all sorts of minerals in there, and there's other minerals that are very, very important in actual boron, for instance, a trace element.
Yeah.
But without any boron in your diet, and let's face it, that boron's a really hard one to get into diet. And without that boron, I don't care how much calcium you take.
You may even be interested in, we have a product called Osteo Essentials, which we did put together for people that can't take the real high amounts of D. It does have 2,000 D, but it has the 500 micrograms of the K2. And it does have your calcium and magnesium in a very specialized form to be more absorbable but not extreme high levels. So that is actually put together for bone density.
That might fit you better.
Come by, give us a call, bring in your D levels, and we'll kind of tailor something for you. But that might be a product that's called Osteo Essentials that is for bone building.
Right.
Okay, but last question: do you think that 1,200 milligrams is doing me any good? Because I don't want to take it if it's not.
It depends on what form of calcium. Bring it in when you come.
Yeah.
Okay.
And like I said, let's look at everything you're taking. So just bring it in with you, and we'll kind of go from there.
All right. Thank you very
thank
much.
you.
All right. Thanks,
Thank you, Carol. We had another caller ask about vitamin D and different types of vitamin D that might help with obesity.
I mean, D3 is the
D3 what you want. You don't want D2.
D2 has
no matter
to be,
what it's for.
Yeah.
And they've actually found that obese people actually are depleted in vitamin D.
It takes more D.
It takes more D.
The more overweight you are, the more D it takes.
Right.
So
and we do find that to be true when we do blood testing.
Right.
So, D can help some with obesity, but there's many other things that do. So it's kind of a combination of things.
All right. Another caller asks, what causes my fingers to crack this time of year? Is there something to help with that? And what can I do to prevent it?
Well, it's back to that Pernomax that we were talking about. The changes in the weather and the changes in the barometric pressure and so on actually does cause some issues as far as the
I think they mean like cracks in the skin. I think it's what he was thinking cracking. I'm thinking cracks in the skin. But anyway,
that's possible too.
It depends on what you're talking about. If you're talking about cracks in the skin. Cracks in the skin is another issue we were going to talk about, which is dry skin.
Yeah.
No doubt. When the humidity goes down, and we live in a very humid area, so our skin is used to really high humidity around here.
Real.
And the humidity goes down some, and it dries you out. And so one of the things that you can take is we like to do fish oil, flax oil, primrose oil. You want the
Fats.
good beneficial fats to actually grease you from internally.
Yes.
And then use lotion. I mean, it is true. But skin, we see a lot of dry skin and people complain, but there's other parts of the country that they stay dry all the time. We're so used to the humidity is actually good for that. So when it goes down, you definitely
Yeah,
see a
we have
difference. Why are you
problems.
looking at me like that?
I was just thinking, you eat some good Mexican and that'll grease you from the
That'll
inside
grease you up right
really
there, yeah.
quick.
We're not talking about that kind of greasing.
Oh, okay.
But no, fish oil is probably what we recommend the most.
That's the most, yeah.
Probably the
Probably
fish oil.
best, yeah.
And at pretty decent doses.
Yes.
Yeah, omega-3s.
Yes, omega-3s.
omega-3s,
And it's been
right.
shown to have really good effects on the skin.
Okay,
Yeah.
good. 896-0713, 800-349-0713. Those are our phone lines. We're going to be back with this week's special and our final segment here in just a moment. And welcome back to our Monday morning live edition of Healthy Living South Mississippi. It's the Doctor's Nutrition Show. I'm Jim Tabor, along with Doctors Jim and Janine Fox of Doctor's Nutrition, located on Callan Road in Gulfport, just south of Pass Road, and where we take your phone calls and taking your questions regarding health. Ronald from Van Cleve on the phone right now. Good morning, Ronald. What's your question for the doctors?
Yeah, I'm kind of into eating nutritious foods all my life. I'm
Okay.
83 years old
Okay,
right
good.
now, and I'm in fairly decent health. But I've been looking at certain ingredients on, for instance, dog biscuits. Now, I noticed that dog biscuits have a tremendous amount of nutritional value in them, and I'm wondering if it's safe for a human being to say chew on dog biscuits because of the nutritional value there.
Honestly, without looking at the actual
Yeah.
product, and if I did do it, I'd make sure it was organic and didn't have any chemicals, and that's what
Yeah.
you worry about, because a lot of the higher chemical foods are used in dog products
Right.
because they can't be sold for humans. I can say one time I had a guy that he used to say he didn't really like to eat, and we had an organic dog food, and he said it looked better than people food, and that's what he ate. So, but honestly, it's not what we normally.
really did. That
He
and
did.
peanut
I
butter.
mean,
He loved it.
That mixed with peanut butter, that was his diet. It was
yeah.
kind of weird. But I would make sure it was organic, because if it wasn't organic, I probably wouldn't eat it because of that. And I usually only give my dogs organic food because I do know that there's higher chemicals sometimes in the non-organic dog
Yeah.
foods. Yeah.
Right.
What I understand is the health department spends a lot more time in checking
The dog.
companies that make dog animal foods
Yeah.
because of the potential there for the companies to cut quality.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Well,
Yeah,
definitely.
quality control
Like
is
I said,
really
but
big.
I still would only do it if it was organic.
Yeah.
And I mean, even then, you want to look at the ingredients.
Exactly.
And see.
All right, thanks,
Thank you for
Ronald.
calling.
Jeff from Gulfport on the phone. Good morning, Jeff. What's your question for the doctors?
Good morning. Well, I don't know if it's much of a question. Then is a comment
Okay.
about my situation. About a year and a half ago, I had an operation where I had one of my testicles removed on the right side, and recently, within the last week or two, it's swollen up on that side,
Okay.
and I'm spotting blood in my ejaculation. And my urine seems a little murky when I urinate, and it comes out murky
Yeah.
in the water.
You need to see your
You
urologist.
definitely need to go to a
yeah.
urologist. Definitely. I wouldn't wait. I'd make sure,
Oh, no.
because it shouldn't be doing that. So I would definitely go to your, I'm sure you have a urologist since you had that done. So I would make sure you went to your urologist as soon as possible.
Maybe it was
right.
straining myself by picking up something heavy. I don't know.
I'd still get it checked
Get
out.
it checked.
Especially with it being that long ago and then that happening now, I would definitely go to the urologist as soon as possible.
Now, there's always possibility of a hernia or something.
Yeah.
But definitely get it
Exactly.
checked out.
Just
Yeah.
go get it checked.
Right.
All right, thank you, Jeff.
Thank you.
896-0713, 800-349-0713. We still have a few minutes left. Let's
get-
get to this week's specials.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, so, the D and K2 spray
Yep.
that we actually mentioned earlier, that's on sale, and something called 5-HTP. And we haven't really gotten to the condition for that yet, but it's seasonal depression. Seasonal depression, when you don't have as much sunlight, you definitely have a decrease in serotonin. And the decrease in serotonin actually makes that what they call seasonal affective disorder. And it is a
Sad.
known thing for the winter. People get more depressed. Now, you can't take 5-HTP with other antidepressants, but if you're not on an antidepressant and you tend to get the blues during the winter, it's a great product that you can take even just during the winter.
And if
just
you're
to help that
stressed out,
problem.
if you're stressed out.
It does help stress
It
too.
works,
It helps
you know,
that
if
too.
you're
Actually
stressed out, you know,
it
because of
keeps down-
work or
it keeps
whatever.
down carbohydrate cravings because we have
Yeah.
a lot of people that do it for appetite control.
every day.
So the 5-HTP is just a good product for that. And real quick, we'll mention a few other conditions that tend to worsen. COPD tends to get
Yes.
worse during the winter, and we do have something called DMG that increases oxygen carrying capability, and NAC that would help with that.
Right.
Asthma actually tends to get a little bit worse, and again, the DMG also
Right.
helps with that too. So there's a lot of things that actually worsen during the winter, and with our 30-minute show, we don't usually get to everything.
No.
But some of the biggies are the depression, the arthritis, the vitamin D deficiency,
And even heart attack.
and
believe
heart
it or not.
attacks increase during
Yeah.
the winter as well. So
And you get that credit card bill.
Yeah.
Your Christmas
Now that's
value.
shock.
yeah, that's actually shock.
Yeah,
Yeah,
really.
Shock.
That's
You know,
actually,
one of the great things that you can do is you can go to Doctor's Nutrition on Facebook. A lot
Yes.
of information on there.
Oh, yeah.
That you can check out. There's always a lot of specials going on there as well. You know, you can go to their website and go back and see some of the past shows too. If there's any
Right.
questions about anything
Yeah.
that's going on.
Yeah, we keep all that archived there. So.
Yeah. So I mean that's another great place, and go on Facebook and be sure you like it because you do have little surprises going on.
We
from
do.
time to
And
time.
follow
do.
us because we do have some.
we had a
do give
giveaway
away
that
some
we just
things.
gave away on Friday.
Was it?
Yes, a year's worth of Megabytes One.
That's right. That's
Yep.
right.
But that one's over, and we'll have another one coming up soon. So
Well,
if
there
you
you go.
go, like us and follow us on Facebook, and you'll see when we are doing giveaways.
Right.
And I always want to mention one thing. When you don't need an appointment to go see them, you can just drop right in, and there's no charge for a consultation. So, I mean, the people that you tell to bring your blood work in and all that information
Yeah.
with you, you know, there's no charge for them sitting there looking at that and saying, okay, you need this and this and this, or perhaps it's been a while since you had that blood work done,
Right.
that you might need one, and there's different panels that they have depending on your need at the time.
Right.
Right.
So just come talk to one of us about what's best for you. And if you, like I said, if you do already have your lab work, like he said, just bring it in. We'll look at it for you.
All right, we still have about a minute or two left, so you can still call in at 896-0713 or 800-349-0713. 2 minutes left if you have a question that you want to pass along to the doctors. They are there Monday. The store is open Monday through Friday from 8:30 till 5:30, and Saturdays 11 to 2.
It's 8.
It's
Or
8, actually.
I'm sorry, 8 to 5:30 because they're in there early doing blood work. Nancy's on the phone with us right now, real quick. Good morning, Nancy. What's your question for the doctors?
Yes, sir. First of all, where are they located?
Cowan Road in Gulfport.
Cowan Road.
We're just
Okay.
south of Pass Road.
Remember where the old Kmart used to be there on?
Yes.
Yeah, it's right across the street from where the garden center was.
Right.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Okay. My question is, my son has just learned that he's diabetic at 53. Can he take any of that 5-HTP?
Definitely.
It depends on if he's not
As
taking
long as
another.
he's not on an antidepressant, he can. Yeah, so-
it is an antidepressant.
It can't help.
It
with
is.
that.
Well, yeah, it's a natural antidepressant, the 5-HTP. It increases serotonin.
Serotonin, right.
Now, it's not really going to be. Yes, it can help his carbohydrate craving, which might in turn help the diabetes, but it itself does not lower blood sugar.
Right.
But if you change your diet with it, then yes, it can. But we have a lot. We even have a good sheet that tells you what to eat when you're diabetic. So if he comes by,
Okay.
we'll give that to him.
Okay. Okay. Very good. Thank
Okay,
you so
thank
very
you.
much.
Oh, thank you.
All right, thank you for your call. Next week, we're talking about neuropathy.
Neuropathies
pain.
and nerve pain. There's so many people out there that have nerve pain that's a chronic condition, and there are things that can help. So that's what we're going to talk about.
All right. Well, hope you have yourself a wonderful week. Go out and enjoy this beautiful day, and might want to put a little jacket on because it's a little chilly out there. And we will be back here bright and early next Monday morning at 9 o'clock for another live edition of Healthy Living South Mississippi's Doctor's Nutrition Show.